Hi everybody, it's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. As promised, I have that third reusable Starbucks cup challenge project here for you today. This is the one that we will be making. It holds a Starbucks card here in the front, and then when you turn it to the side, you'll see the Starbucks cup, and then I added a pair of socks, and then I'm going to put a glue dot here to hold this together, but I wanted to show you guys how to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. First, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need to bring in your Stampin' Trimmer, and you're gonna want a piece of cardstock that is coordinating with your designer series paper that is cut by 6 by 6 inches, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna line the outside edge and you're gonna score on all 4 sides at 1.5 inches. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5, okay? I'm gonna move my Stampin' Trimmer and I'm gonna come in and we are going to burnish all the score lines. So we're gonna fold it in half and run our paper or our bone folder down each of those score lines, giving it a nice crisp edge and breaking down the fibers of that cardstock. Okay. Now that we have that done, we're going to take on the top and the bottom, sorry, the bottom and the top, we're going to cut and we're going to cut up on both the score lines and we're going to wedge it out. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to take your paper snips and you're going to cut to that first score line and then you're going to wedge a little bit out. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. Cut to that first score line, wedge a little bit out. Okay. Now we're going to turn it around so that our wedges are up at the top. We're going to cut up to that score line, wedge it out, cut up to the score line, and wedge it out. Okay. Now before we put this box together, as you can see on mine, on 2 of the sides I added designer series paper. So I'm going to come in with my designer series paper and we're going to go ahead and adhere that down on 2 of the sides. So let me get my liquid multi-purpose glue. That's the glue I like to use just because I can move it if I get it in the wrong place at first. I'm going to go ahead and lay that right there in the center. Do the same thing on this other side. And we're leaving the other 2 sides blank because the pieces that fold up to form our box are going to be covering that. So we don't want to waste the paper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our tear and tape and we're going to put 2 pieces on each of the corners. Must be the angle that I'm at. I'm like having a tough time tearing it. Okay. I'm going to flip it over just because it's easier for me to put the tear and tape on my right side. Okay. Now that we have that done, I like to take my Take-A-Pick tool and use my spatula end, and I'm going to take off the backing on that adhesive, peel it off so I don't ruin my nails. And we're just going to fold that in just like that and form our box. Okay, do the same thing on all the other sides. Take the tear and tape backing off, fold it in, and form our box. Since this one's the last one, I'm going to go ahead and take the tear and tape off both sides since it's flat and it's easier to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold one of them in first, just like that, and then come in and do this other side. Okay, so now you have your little box. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in, and I kind of cheated. I went ahead and made one already, but this piece of cardstock is cut by 5 5 15/16 by 5 15/16. So it's just a tiny bit shy of the 6 by 6. And what it's going to do is, let me show you guys before we put it together. It's going to fit right into the box that we made that will hold our cup. So just like that. So what I did is I took my layering circle die before I put my box together, and I used my Post-it tape and I taped it down in the center just like this. And then I ran it through my Big Shot so it would cut out that circle. And the circle size is, I'm just doing it from the inside portion only. The circle size is about 2 3/8. So we're going to put this together since we already got it out of our Big Shot. I wanted to go ahead and do that part so we weren't taking up time on our video. And I'm going to show you guys how to put this inside piece together. Okay, so we're going to do exactly what we just did on the other side. And I'm going to put tear and tape just on the corner pieces. And then I'm going to take that Take-A-Pick tool and do the same thing. Take off the tear and tape, and then we're going to form our little box. I feel like I have sticky fingers today. It's taken me a little bit to get in there. So now you're just going to put that inside your box. And it should go in pretty easily. Of course, unless you're on the camera. Okay. So now it fits your cup. And I'm actually going to turn it so my Starbucks emblem is on one of the sides that has the designer series paper. And you could fill your cup with anything that you want. I don't have enough stuff to show you guys, but I put the gummies in there and then one of those Hostess spring cupcakes. And then what you're going to do is you're going to need to come in and you need 2 sheets of cardstock that are 3 by 11 inches. Okay, just like that. And what you're going to do is we need our paper trimmer, our Stampin' Trimmer, and you're going to want to score each piece at 7 inches and 8.5 inches. So let me go ahead and get my little arm out, get my piece, and you're going to score it at 7 inches and then 8.5 inches. Okay, do the same thing on your other piece. 7 inches and 8.5 inches. Okay, now you're done with your paper trimmer. You're going to want to burnish your folds. So what we're going to do first is we're going to score the top flap in and then flip it over and score the other flap just like that. So score the top flap in, turn it over and score that way, because you want it to be like this shape. Okay. Now you need your scallop tag punch. And what you're going to do is the paper is longer than this area that holds the punch, but you're going to evenly put, and I'm going to show you how to do it even. You're going to slide that in with that short side. You want the long side down up here, and you're going to make sure it's even on both sides. Okay. And it's all the way in. Once you know that your paper's all the way in and evenly pushed in, then you're gonna punch it out just like that. So that's what you're left with. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Takes me a minute to get it in there. Make sure it's all even on the sides and punch, okay? Now you're gonna take your paper snips and you're just gonna cut off those little tabs. Just like that on both sides. Okay, now you need your designer series paper, and you need 2 pieces that are cut by 2 by 6 1/4 for the bottom down here. And then you need 4 pieces that are cut I'm sorry, it's 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then you need 4 pieces that are cut at 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 for up here. I was looking at my wrong set of directions. So we're gonna go ahead and use our multi-purpose glue and get those glued down. I'm using the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper that's in the annual Stampin' Up! Catalog. If you do not have a catalog and would like to receive one, I would be more than happy to send one to you. Just email me or go to my website there, Craftin' Just Because. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue these down up here. There's a lot of steps to this project, but it's super simple. Okay, so that one's done. Now we just need to come in and do this one. I'm going to repeat the dimensions of this designer series paper just so to make sure you guys have it. It's 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, now that you have that done, now you're going to take your box and you're going to add tear and tape. I did 2 strips, one at the bottom and one at the top, on the sides that don't have designer series paper. Okay, so just like that. And then we'll take our Take-A-Pick tool and take that backing off. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your edge and line it up on the edge of the box and press down just like that. So there's your box flap on that side. Do the same thing on this other side. We're going to take that tear and tape off. Place the edge onto the box edge, press down, come in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that petal pink and white, whisper white variegated ribbon, and we're going to put it through the top, and we're going to cut it. I'm going to go ahead and put it down so you guys can see, and we're going to make a bow. Just like so. Now remember, I'm going to add socks up there, so you want it to be there to be a little bit of room there. And then you're going to cut this off. I like to banner my edges just like that. Okay, so we're not completely done. Then I took an oval and I'm going to stamp in basic gray. Where's my stamp pad? There it is. I need my blocks. And I'm going to stamp Easter greetings there on the tiny white oval. Okay. Shut that up so I don't make a mess there. Then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of that. Where did I put my dimensionals? Sorry guys, I have stuff all over from doing this project and I am not seeing my dimensionals. Let me grab another set. Okay. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals onto the back. And then I'm going to layer that onto my scalloped oval. And I'm going to glue that up here onto that little flap. Right here. Just like that. Okay. Now we got to make our gift card holder. So now what you need is your Stampin' Trimmer, and then you need a piece of cardstock that is cut in the same color as we used on the box. And I used the soft seafoam color, and we have it cut at 5 3/4 by 4, right? Let's make sure. I guess I didn't cut that right. So let's go ahead and cut it. 5 3/4 by 4. Okay. And then we're going to score it at 2 3/4. Okay. Just like that. Now what we're going to need to do is we need to make this little flap. Now there's a couple different ways. There are punches that you can make that with, or we also have, I apologize. I thought I had it out. We also have a Thinlit that was in the last annual catalog, and it has this little piece that looks like this. Now I have mine on a Post-it tape, but it looks just like that. I'm going to go ahead and use that because I already have that. But if you don't have it, you could either just fold it and do the ribbon like I did on my other one, or you could put this down. And I like to lay it right in the middle, just like this, right in the middle, and align the edge up at the top. And then I like to use a Post-it note tape to make sure I don't have that in the middle. There we go. To make sure that it's in place, and I'm going to run that through my Big Shop real quick. So there you have it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our designer series paper, and that is cut at, I am making a complete mess, you guys. That designer series paper is cut at 2.5 by 3 3/4. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, did I make a little, I did, hold on. I need my other piece of designer series paper here. I'm sorry, you guys. don't see it, so I'm going to cut a piece here really quick. I'm going to cut it by 1 by 4 inches. Just like that. And I'm going to put tear-in tape down on the bottom and on 2 of the sides. So you only want it on 3 sides. Just like so. Oops, am I not in the screenshot? There we go. Make sure you're all the way to the edge. So it's on 3 sides just like that. Take your pick a tool, take the backing off, and what you want to do is put the side, the long side that has the tear-in tape on it along that crease. Just like this. Okay. Let's get our gift card in there. Just like so. I didn't get it down long enough. I broke mine. Okay, we're just going to add ribbon. I'll show you guys how to do that here. But anyway, we're going to glue this down. Oh boy, the beauty of making a video, right? It's okay. Not everybody has that fancy little die cut tool anyway. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add some ribbon. I'm going to come in with my basic gray ribbon. And I'm just going to line that up in that little hole that we cut out and make a little bow. And then you could leave it just like this where it looks like a present, or I went ahead and cut out a coffee cup just like on my original one, and we can make that. So let's get that done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little coffee holder and we're gonna stamp little Peter Rabbit right there on the front, and I'm just gonna do his little head. So let me get that inked up. So just like that. Perfect. I love it. Okay, now we're going to come in with our markers, and I'm going to use my light petal pink and color in his ears and then his little nose. And then the dark crumb cake, we're going to outline all the little areas. Stampin' Up! Makes it really easy for you to show where your shading needs to be by adding the detail on the face. Okay, and then you're going to come in with your light marker, crumb cake marker, and blend it all in. And you want to pull down the dark from the top. Pull down so that you're blending, and then color in all over him. Just like so. And then I like to come in with my Wink of Stella and add just a tiny bit of glitter to him. Okay. Now we're going to come in with our cup and we're going to glue this down right in the center of the cup like it's our little cup holder so we don't burn our hands. And then we want to add the little topper to our cup. So I like to just add glue right along the outside or that bottom edge. Just like that. Oops. See, I didn't have it pressed down all the way. Let's do this again. Just a thin strip of glue there, and then add just like that. And then we can add this to the front of our card. Just like that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some tear and tape, and I'm just gonna go over that ribbon, that way it doesn't move. And I'm just gonna add 2 strips just like that. Take the backing off, and I'm gonna add that to the front of my card, just like that. So there's your little Easter surprise cupcake cup holder. Thank you guys for joining me. Sorry I was a little bit of a mess there on some of the video trying to find all my pieces, but I hope you guys enjoyed the project. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.